Hello, you beautiful people, and welcome to Teams of the UKTC, the show in which we dive deep into the murky depths of the UKTC scene. And today we are meeting Dead Red Gaming. So, as we said, it is Dead Red all to ourselves today, and we have got the lovely Charles and Aaron with us. Charles, how the devil are you, sir?
I am very well. Thank you very much, Chris, for having us on. It's always good to come on and talk about the teams aspect of the hobby. I think it's something that's not explored enough, so I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. I think, yeah, you're absolutely right. In the last, you see how quickly or how much the game has sort of grown over the last sort of 2 years in terms of teams. Like I was there at like the first ITT, and we look at it now where every team's rocking up with a laptop, and you can kind of just see how far it's grown now. So yeah, that's the kind of idea behind this show, just to get to meet all the big movers and shakers of the circuit. And then we also have Aaron. How are you, sir?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, not bad. Just getting back into 40K after like a year off of having a kid. So
I feel
yeah,
you. I feel
good
you.
to join.
Because we played many moons ago, like Sheffield,
Sheffield,
wasn't it?
yeah,
Final round, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, as a fellow, my baby's about to be a year old in a month's time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it turns out it takes over your life, doesn't it?
Important question
Yep.
is, Chris, did you name your kid after a Warhammer character? Because Aaron,
Unfortunately, Khan was vetoed.
Aaron's called
Yeah.
his little girl Latara, so
Oh, did you?
if I keep saying it, people will
Yeah.
start to believe it.
It was a running joke. Yeah. If my wife had let me, I definitely would have considered it.
Yeah. No, that's entirely fair. Well, speaking of sort of names and origins and all that sort of stuff, the obvious place to start is tell us the origin story of your team.
Sure. Do you want to take this as, or do you want me to do it?
Yeah, I can take it. So there's the team kind of co-located majority in Lincoln and Hull. So there's a group of guys playing out of Hull's Angels in Hull, and a group of guys playing out of Lincoln Imps.
Mhm.
And been going to each other's tournament for years. We've built a friendship network, and essentially just decided to come together and form one team, which was Dead Gaming. This was, what would it have been, early ninth, I think.
It was about
Um,
4 years ago. It was just when I started playing.
yeah, yeah. It's about a year after I started. So, and at first that kind of just grew from people that knew in the area. So, as it got going, we just invited mates from the local clubs. And then as we went to more and more tournaments, we started to get kind of active interest. Meeting people like Charles and others along the way who like what we was doing and wanted to join in. So yeah, that's it really. Yeah, so 4 years going strong. Yeah, seems
Nice.
to be working so
Do you
far.
guys have a sort of like a selection policy? Is there a certain amount of number? Is there a number you're thinking about that you're happy to keep? Is it like, oh, he seems sound, he can come and join us? Like, what's the vibe you're going for?
I think our main recruiting tactic for the first few years was Steve Platten. If you played versus Steve, he would give you an invite, and that was
Okay.
basically
Yeah,
sort of our main recruitment thing.
yeah.
We don't have a formalized application process or anything like that. We are quite keen to keep it a more traditional club. I think it's fair to say we don't want to be huge. Like we have got players all over the UK, but it's sort of more brought in on a vibes basis. Like,
Yeah.
so I've got a friend that I played with a lot when I lived over in Manchester, and then he wanted to get more into the community scene. So I said, all right, do you want to come meet the guys at an event or whatever? And it's sort of more natural like that rather than like an application or a
Sure.
specific recruitment. We've gone on the days of Steve running around going, "Have you got a team? Have you got a team? Have you got a team?"
Yeah. Well, there are some teams that do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they do go around and they just try and anyone who's half decent, they're like, "Do you want to come join us?" So, how many are you on at the moment? How many players have you got?
Ooh.
Oh, that's
That's a numbers question.
We're
I don't know if
probably,
We'll go for a rough
I'm
number.
looking at active numbers in Discord, probably 40 plus, but we have a lot of guys who go, where it's the hobbies, like people come in and out. So, yeah, I'd say we have somewhere between 20 and 30 people active most of the
Yeah.
time.
That's just similar
Sounds
to us,
about
then.
right.
Yeah, I think for our first
Yeah.
ITT, we sent 5 teams or 6 teams, I think it was. So
5
there was,
teams, yeah.
and it's about that's still the same sort of people that are playing. So yeah, 35-ish people probably that are active.
Oh, nice. That's,
Yeah.
that's a good number. For me, there is one thing I have to do every time I say your team's name, which is correct it from Red Dead. So, where did your team name come from?
Do you know the answer?
Was it literally just the game that switched
No,
it
it's
So,
around?
well, no,
not. It's not the game.
there's a few different reasons. One of it, when we started, there was a lot of gingers in it. Funnily
Okay.
enough,
Yeah.
that was the driving force behind it. The name does partly come from Red Dead, swapped around so we don't get sued.
No, it doesn't. I asked Joe this because it was bugging me for a while. And Joe is Irish and ginger. And he and Steve were the 2 sort of founding members of the club. And in Ireland, if you are very ginger, i.e. you've got ginger hair and a ginger beard, you are said to be dead red. So that's actually where it comes from. It's not from the video game. It's
There you go.
it does confuse everybody.
It
Yeah.
does genuinely.
But we always just break it down to DRG, so that's the
It's easy.
simplest way to refer to it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll bear that in mind. Thank you, Aaron. Excellent. Right. So that's kind of your origin story. Obviously, you've been around for a while now. Your players have done pretty well. Your teams have done pretty well. So, what would you say the highlights and accomplishments of the team have been so far?
I think sort of the immediate one that jumps to my mind is recently at the last WTC we had 4 players go from our team, and that was across 3 different nations. So I played for Ireland, Greg Chamberlain played for England, Gareth Harris played for Wales, and Mark Cromwell-Home captained the UN team. So we sent 4 players to 4 different teams, which I think is quite a good achievement for any team to have. Alongside that, sort of in the UK, on teams rankings on BCP, we were, I think for most of last year, we were top 5, and I don't know where we currently sit in the rankings or the NTR rankings, but I think that's sort of to me that, and we've got a good reputation. I think that's the other important thing to us. I've never had too many. I've not had any bad comments about DRG, and everybody seems to be quite happy to players, which always.
I think that's the core thing, the kind of core ethos of the team is we're proud of the results that some of our players get. Let's say, 'cause it's definitely some people contribute a lot more. But the main thing is we always wanted to be a good experience playing against the team. So that's the only reason why we would ever have any kind of internal issues with. We don't have any issues because we have a good set of guys. But the main thing is. You should be afraid to play us, hopefully, but going to enjoy it and have a good game is the kind of ethos we go for. So
that's really interesting because you have literally taken my next question. So I was going to say, what are your team? So your core philosophies are basically you're looking for people to go. Oh, I'm playing against a DRG player. Like, oh, this is going to be really tough. But hey, at least I know I'm going to have like a good time playing it. Like, is that kind of the way you want to be seen as a team?
That.
Yeah, we want to be a competitive team. First and foremost, we are that's sort of our driving factor, but we also want to do it in the right way. It's very important to us. Sportsmanship is one of the highest values in our community internally as well, and we very much care about playing the game in the right way. So we want to kick your teeth in, but we want you to have fun doing it and to do it properly.
This is the dream, right?
Yeah.
And I think if every top team kind of had that philosophy, I think the whole scene would be in a really good place, wouldn't it? So I really approve of that. Obviously, so you guys play and you go to these different tournaments, you play singles, you play teams. Is there any other way you guys or any of your team kind of contribute to the community? Like, have we kind of got like coaching? Have we got websites? Have we got YouTube streams? Like, what sort of things do some of you guys do in general in the 40k community?
Azza, do you want to take this one?
Well, we can split. So,
yeah.
So as a rule, we don't do anything with like the team bad job say as like a centralised effort. But we just every kind of member goes and does what they want. If they want to use the team badge, they're free to, but then you keep what you kill, kind of thing. So Charles has obviously got a few bits. I'll let him talk about that he does. Greg Chamberlain's just starting to get into the coaching space, so I've got him working with me at the moment as he kind of tests that out and gets a feel for it. So I'm sure we'll be making those details available in the future. But you probably tag him in the England Discord if anyone's interested. And then, I mean, that's it. We've talked about things like this podcast and that in the past, but we've kind of not got there. Charles has pushed further than anyone else, kind of under his own brand, which we all try to support and jump on his things and help him out when we can.
Yeah, so I guess I'll expand on that a little bit. I run Top of the Table Minis as a YouTube channel. I'm sure you can edit this or keep it in. As a plug, I
actually, I watched it the other day. I watched you run your Grey Knights into the Demon.
Demon.
That
Turns
went
out
well.
K-pop Demon Hunters not a great theme to play a list around, but no. So yeah, the whole point of my stream is I get some of the top players in the country on to play sort of competitive Warhammer, but not just what is the nastiest list. It's what they've actually been having enjoying with, and actually getting them to talk about the thought process, because I think this is something that a lot of especially if you try and watch a top level stream, players will sit there in silence and not really talk through their thought process. So I want to hit the line between like educational but also good vibes. So I encourage people to be as competitive as they can with the list that they've got or the models they've got, and that's sort of the ethos that I like to stream. And I try to stream twice a week, but life gets in the way, so it keeps it a little bit fluid. But that's a lot of fun. I guess the other notable one from our community is Nate Whitbread, who some of you may not have played against. He has started a 3D printing business through Etsy, through Resin War Games is the title in that. And he's started doing that full time. I know there's a few people in the community will know him, but also have had business dealings with him. So it's all like officially licensed and all that good stuff for that. But that's sort of the main contributors to the community that we have.
Yeah, I mean, you are of course forgetting that you are the lead figure in UKTC TV, right? I mean, it rolls off the tongue.
Yes. That's sort of like I tried to keep that sort of separated from the work stuff. It's my job, so I keep it separate from the team stuff. I'm my own stream by design. I want to make it very clear, and you can include this in the stream or not. I do not speak for UKTC. I just help provide that stream. So the same as what Tom's going to be doing when he joins us for LGT. We are well-known members in the community, and that gives us the insight that we can provide the service that we provide, but we do it very sort of siloed off.
No, 100%. But I think
very careful I don't accidentally leak it, say something, and people go, that must be how the rule works. I'm like,
of course. No,
I just made it up.
Well, we've had something quite. I mean, it's crazy. So one of our players took a Storm Raven to a tournament with his Grey Knights, Harley, and he did quite well with it. We did a video on it, and like multiple discords just erupted into like an argument about how you can move a Storm Raven simply because Harley kind of wasn't very clear with how he'd spoken and said something.
Like English is not his first language, right?
No, it's really not. It's really not. And it was just like I spent I was like in this Art of War Discord and other Discords just like, no, he didn't mean that, like he meant this, etc. So yeah, it's we can easily say things that are taken out of joint, but no, I think for probably the last 2 years there's been a huge calling for UKTC to stream their stuff. Obviously they did have some people doing it for a little bit. I know they then kind of weren't able to do it anymore. So the fact that we've got this seems like such a big deal, I think. And obviously Tom's getting involved too. So we're all really excited because it's just great. We're all members of the UKTC community. We want to see all those events played out. It's going to be both teams and singles. And it's obviously starting at the LGT, which is going to be, or carrying on at the LGT, but that's going to be a big one with Tom. So that'll be really cool. Lovely. Right. So you've been around for a while. Is there a vision for the team? So say in 4 or 5 years time, is there something you're trying to work towards, or have you kind of hit where you're at? Like, do you see yourself being 60, 70 members? Do you see yourself, is your goal to be a consistent like top 3 team, or is it just, you know what, we're in a good place now. In 5 years' time, if we're still where we are now, we're happy. Like, what you guys thinking?
I'd say we're pushing. We're always trying to improve our rankings each year, our performance over the year. There's a few kind of. I'll put myself as one of the kind of more middle level players, and like seeking guidance from the Charles, Greg, James, Webster, Mark. I'm not going to do an extensive list. There's plenty of them, but trying to bring myself up to their level to get more in the rankings. So I think that's we push for that. We try and keep an eye on what's going on there. There's quite a few of our players now starting to really push for international stuff as well. So I think if we can stay where we are or better, that's great. I think we'd like to always get in the top 5 if we can, if not better. Yeah, I think that's probably the main thing for us. It'd be interesting to see how the kind of teams rankings develops in UKTC and how sought after that is. I think a nice ITT win at some point won't be a bad thing.
Dream, right? That's what you're waiting for.
Yeah. I mean, sort of the short-term goal we have is performing well at team events, be that the ITT, the various invitationals and team tournaments that do exist as they develop. I think we are a very strong team, and people will underestimate us because we're from the north, as they say. But we do have a very, very scary roster, and I think we've not really had a chance to put a proper team out, as it were, compared to if you look at like Mind Goblins or Carnage, their recent ITT runs. We haven't had that chance yet, sort of just how it's all lined up. So I think that's sort of our short-term goal will be to continue to develop individual players, but also in a team's context, we want to really be challenging for those positions and those placings that we're definitely capable of getting.
Have you guys kind of had like discussions on how you can improve? Kind of like maybe your potentially like middle road. Like we had a little system like a year or two ago where we tried like a kick-on thing where we kind of got together on TTS one night a week and sort of played like paired games or one game with lots of like helping each other and just discussing it and trying to understand the matchups. And that was our kind of attempt at improving the general players. Have you guys like thought of anything like that? Have you got anything in place, or is it just, you know what, good players keep trying to play the middling players, and middling players will therefore inevitably improve?
We have some systems in place, so nothing overly formal. We're more of a club than a structured team, but we do have particularly focused a bit more around the teams because of the experience that we have from England applicants and Ireland applicants and Wales applicants. We have this sort of process of introspection and game reporting. So everybody can in their own little channel. They get to say, for example, I'm playing as of tomorrow with my Imperial Knights versus World Eaters. My prediction for that is. I don't know, to him, maybe. No, originally I said I was like, I'll get 5 points out of it because we're playing round 4, so it's linchpin or whatever. And then I looked at his list and I was like, actually, thought about it a bit more. I'm going to adjust it, and this is why, to open up that discourse. And this is something that our more experienced players can do and talk about list building and ideas, as well as the more actual playing a lot. We have a lot of internal TTS where people will watch and comment and discuss after the game about why didn't you do this, why didn't you do that, what was your logic with that. So we try to, as people want, and to the sort of the level of engagement that they're looking for and that they're comfortable with as players to develop, is how we're looking at. But we have those resources available to all of our team members. There's no pressure or mandate to do it, but anybody that wants to can use it.
Nice. Okay,
yeah,
so
we have also tried to arrange like days at clubs and stuff before, trying to do but it's like trying to herd cats, right? Trying to get that many blokes together in one place, ready for
it's surprisingly tricky, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so ITT is, I don't know, they put tickets out on sale. ITT is 4 months away. You guys are like, right, let's buy our 4 or 5 tickets. What is DRG's process in those next 4 months? How do you go about picking teams? How do you go about coming up with comps and lists and that sort of thing? What's your process? How early do you pick your teams? All those sorts of things.
Typically speaking, it's whoever speaks first gets the responsibility. So whoever says, "Have we thought about teams yet?" It's like, "Well volunteered. You're now doing it."
Spend £1,500 on tickets.
We're pretty good for getting the money like up front and to make sure nobody's massively out of pocket. And then in terms of, so we'll have a pool of players, and then team selection will be based off of that. So we will either elect almost like a captaincy team for however many teams we're taking, and they can sort of figure it out in terms of what that like comps look like. Is when people say I'm available to play, they can list what factions they have, or we generally know like the vibes within the team. It's one of the advantages of being a smaller team. We know what everybody plays and what their play style is and their sort of personalities and how they get on. So we look at, let's just put a comp together. You know, these 5 guys go and figure it out. So we have. I'm going to give a shout out to the narrative division. That's my old team, which as I was on the first iteration, and the whole like. That was started us with us going, right, what's our comp? And we're like, wouldn't it be really funny if we took really nasty lists, but we dressed them up like they were narratives? So we ended up with Garda with 25 horses, and we had Dark Angels with 27 bikes, and named units in the roster and everything. And like that was the comp, was these are actually the source here, but people won't expect it.
Yeah.
We went in fancy dress, all of that. So
Nice.
we're the OGs for starting the fancy dress. But
Nice.
other teams will go, we're just taking all big stuff, or like fairly standard team skews. I think as the ITT have developed and as other teams have also developed more and more, as we're seeing, we're having to be a bit more actually meta with it, which is good. Right? It promotes competition, and we still try and keep the fun vibes there as well. So it's sort of everybody gets bucketed up, and then they all go and act as their own individual teams. Keeps it as varied and interesting as possible without just ending 4 teams with the same 5 game like lists is kind of boring.
Okay. How far ahead do you pick the teams?
I think we've just done the picks for ITT.
For November.
For November, not for the February one that's recently gone on
that'd
sale.
be so about 2 months out then.
Again, it all comes down to whoever's been lumped with the task on how proactive they are. We take a sort of laissez-faire approach to it.
I'd say we because at this phase now, so it's twice since I've been to one, but when we did the big 5, when we sent 5 teams to Coventry, what we ended up doing was setting up the buckets, and then once we figured out the factions and the comps, started swapping players then to say, right, this is gonna, if we have this faction here, it's gonna affect the overall stats. So we're gonna do a trade with this other team to get that player. So and it was that. It depends how many you've got, right? You've only got 3 teams. There's a limit how much of that you can do. But if you've got 5 teams, you can tweak around the edges quite a bit. So, yeah.
So, okay. What do you feel is an ideal comp for a UKTC ITT then? So, if you were to, so we've got February going up, and we don't necessarily, or November coming up, we don't necessarily say armies, but what sort of things, if you were looking to build a really strong composition of your 5, what things are you trying, what styles of lists are you, on how many are you trying to include in that 5?
Sure. I mean, I'll go really quickly, and I will name factions because we've got Whitby teams coming up, and my team it's not a DRG team. It's a collab with Carnage and Army Reactor, I think it is.
Nice.
But our team is, I'll say this in the right order because the acronym is very important.
Okay.
Death Guard, Imperial Knights, Chaos Knights, Khorne (World Eaters). Yeah, you'll see why the K is there in a second. And Space Wolves. So it is very much what is the most obnoxious stat checks and like the most overtuned armies we can take, because we want to have a bit of fun and also funny haha name. Yeah. Otherwise, it is my sort of order of, if I'm a captain, what I ask people to play is, what do you have available? What do you want to play? Have you got any wacky ideas for what you want to play? Right? If you've got 180 jackals and you want to run 180 jackals, cool. Has everybody got the stuff that they want to build a comp around that, or do we want to actually just pick the strongest list that you can within your faction, or is there something you're really feeling dialed in with as a faction specialist? Do you want to go? We've got one of the best sisters players in the country. I'm not going to tell him what sisters list to take. If he wants to take it, he'll take it. So, and I'll support that. Work around it that way. So it is a enjoyment first. How do we make it the strongest that we possibly can? I don't know, Azza, if you guys have had a different approach in your teams.
Yeah. So I mean, so the last one I captained, I think we did the same thing. The kind of two things what we said we definitely want to do. It was back early days of Eldar, so it was like someone needs to take that because it's just too good to leave at home. We had a Dracaru player, Simon Miller, but so it was an easy switch for him to go. There's another elves, right? You're on Eldar, off you go. Grab a list off someone else and make that work. And then give me something. I said to our guard player Tom, I just need something that can't get smashed. So just give me. I don't care how you write it. That's up to you. But I need to be able to push you 5 times if I need to, and you not get hammered.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I've got that list there that I can say if it's just something horrible and we can't deal with it, he won't get 20'd. Right, off you go. Mm-hmm. So that I like personally. I quite like that. Then the other 3 were just good lists of what we had. But you've got something horrible, something reasonably tough, and then the other 3 you can play with based on the matrix.
That makes sense. So obviously, you guys been around the scene a lot. A lot of people. Are there any particular teams out there you've got good friendships with, or who do you say are your rivals? Like, what sort of teams out there for those things?
The big one for us is Carnage. They are our local derby, as it were.
Yeah.
When they first started running their events, I think the first 3 or 4 that they actually ran in Hull, we ended up going to and winning.
Nice.
So we sparked a friendly rivalry there, I think, and we do genuinely get on really well with them as a team. We've got a lot of banter and a lot of fun there. They're sort of, I would say, our biggest frenemies, rivals, whatever the term you want to choose is. Got a lot of respect for them as players, and they've sort of grown at around the same speed and size and time as us. So our paths have sort of been fairly aligned on that.
Yeah. No,
and there's those 6++ weirdos as well, I guess.
Yeah, they're not worth your attention. Don't worry about us. No, that's nice. So obviously UKTC is occasionally divisive in how it goes about either doing events or terrain systems and that sort of thing. So if you were able to change one thing about the current UKTC format, be it how they run events or the terrain or the systems, the rankings, whatever, if you could change one thing, what would that thing be that you would like to see done differently?
Azar, I'll let you go first. So I need to think of something that...
Someone buy some more terrain pieces and put them on the edges of the board, please. I think, I don't... as more I've played WTC terrain as time's gone on, the more I've come to like it. I mean, I play World Eaters, right? So density is my friend.
We have diverging opinions on this, Azar.
Yeah, but I think I generally like the maps where they are, but I think some of the sight lines are just need something doing with them. Would be my opinion. I think it's great that we've got big events, right? And we've got plenty of them. 1 a month. We've got the ITT. I think that's all great. I can't complain.
I think we might be losing his internet. Let's go put 50p in the meter, lad. I said I have diverging opinions. I prefer the new UKTC maps to WTC maps. I don't know if that's because I'm burnt out from WTC, but I think they're a very refreshing change, and they have changed how the game plays a lot. Mm-hmm. They play differently. They play very differently. That's about all I can say. On it, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I think it's quite positive. It forces change and adaptation, improvising, adapting, and all the rest of it. I think the one thing I would change about it, if I could, would be the location of events, because as I'm selfish, I want them near me.
Yeah.
So if they could only ever be like a half an hour drive from me, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that actually having them all over the country is good, right? It makes it very accessible to everybody, and I get to travel. I'm going to complain about having to drive 3 hours.
That's entirely fair news. Well, I mean,
Southampton.
yeah, I think, yeah, because obviously a lot of the time they stuck them in the middle, and they have tried, haven't they? Right, like they put them up like these, like Newcastle. We've got like western ones or southwestern stuff. So they have. They
There's
have
the new
tried.
Windsor one coming up as well.
Yeah, there is the winter one
Yeah.
coming up. So yeah, it's quite nice that they're exploring those kind of avenues. And I think the terrain discussion is obviously very interesting. Different armies like different terrain setups, right? That's the fundamental thing. In an ideal world, everyone's happy, but that's not actually possible. I think at least they've tried something different this time. Like it's very easy to put the big L in your home field, and that's all safe and pretty, and that's what they've always done. So to make them right towards the middle and condense everything towards the middle. I mean, I've just finished filming a deep dive into each of the missions, so it's been quite interesting from my perspective just to be like rotating around the map on TTS and looking at the firing lanes. And yeah, of course, like those sidelines are huge, and you have to kind of, I guess, think about how can you build your army to stop someone coming in from strat reserve and shooting straight into your deployment zone, and that does impact just different types of things. So I think there's no issue there, and it'd be interesting to see how things develop. Obviously, we're about to have the LGT. There'll be a lot more feedback after that, and then we'll see how things progress from there. You've also, and they got the business thing that he's got all these terrain sets. Like, in order for him to go, right, I want to increase the pieces of that, then that's obviously quite a big investment and that sort of thing. So it'll
It's
be
1,000, right? 1,000 or whatever you want
yeah.
based
So,
on LGT. That's what you got to buy.
so it'd be very
500, sorry.
yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how things develop. Right. Okay. So those were all the serious ones. We're now going to dive into getting to know your team a little bit better. So just a few questions,
Need our lawyers present.
and you're just going to have to let me know who you think. So first question, nice and simple. Who in your team is the best painter or hobbyist?
I know.
And your team are currently going to be watching this, right?
Yeah.
there's
So
now a lot
I
of
think the
pressure on you
best
guys.
painter, I don't think there's any argument here, is James Webster. That man paints absolute phenomenal armies.
Yeah.
He's done a full Grey Knight army, all non-metallic metal, right? And
Nice.
it's all properly well done.
Yeah.
Best hobbyist, I'm gonna say, and not just because he's on the show. I think it's Azza. If you haven't seen his world eaters, it is Kit Bash Mad.
It's very cool.
Everything's converted. There's like an OG Angron from Heresy being used as a Master Executions or whatever. So, like, in terms of raw hobbying, I think Azza by far and away does the most of it. A lot of us are more traditional competitive players where we just get it, build it, run it, right? But Azza actually takes time and really loves his faction, and it shows in the quality of what he makes.
No. Would you disagree with any of those points, Aaron?
No.
No.
No. I'd agree. Yeah, James is a great painter. I'd agree with that. And yeah, thanks, Charles. I mean, I try and have a rule of no two models are ever the same. So when you're making 60 berserkers, that's quite challenging. But yeah, part of the fun for me.
No, that's what's up. Are there any fun nicknames in the team? Any, or are you all just kind of, we'll just call them Charles and Azza and that sort of thing? Or has anyone got any stories behind any nicknames?
I'll let you go first on this, Azza.
So I don't know what Charles is going to say, but there's a running joke of whenever we screw the pairings in teams, it's called Azza in the pairings, because I was I'm renowned for getting into going away for a TTS matchup, right, scrim, coming back and say, sorry boys, I absolutely sorry, can't, you're just gonna have to go out and get some wins.
You've all got your worst matchup. Good luck.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one.
Yeah, I mean, there's Azzaing the pairings. We've got. We don't really have many nicknames. We've got Gad, who sometimes takes things like quite literally. So he can read stuff like a robot, I guess. So he's Gadbot, and that's sort of about the only nickname that we really have that we can share on air. A lot of it's just offensive,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
various swear words at people.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Who's the party animal of the team?
Oh, that's Joe. Joe Grant.
Yeah.
He just he likes to drink, and he goes to events for the social aspect. He's a very good player, but I don't think I've ever seen him not be like he's a big character and he's always having fun, and that's sort of like the main reason he does it.
Do you guys have like nights out as teams, socials and stuff?
At events,
Usually,
we go out for a meal and stuff.
yeah.
We don't really organise massive socials, but that's probably more a symptom of the fact that we see each other sort of regularly enough at events that I don't want to spend any more time with them.
Yeah, no, it's entirely understandable being there. Who's the biggest meta chaser in the team?
Oh, well, would you look at the time?
So it's either Charles
or Connor.
Yeah, oh Connor.
I think it's me because I will play them at events. Connor sort of he likes to hobby with them. He never actually plays them. I mean, like I can't really defend this as before as I joined. I was showing Chris the work that I'm currently doing on my Imperial Knights that I've always had. I've been a long time enjoyer.
Long time Knight fan.
As you can see, the cabinets behind me, I have most of the armies in the game, and I do jump between them with enough reputation to be the biggest meta chaser.
Yeah. We have a fair few meta apologists as well. You know,
we've got plenty.
The guy who tells you it's perfectly reasonable because it's theirs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's amazing how many of those are.
18 rated is fine. Don't worry about it. Just play better. And it's like okay.
Yeah. Who would you say? Obviously, you guys have said like sportsmanship is key to you. If you had to pin it on one person, who do you think the best sport is for your team?
So I've got my view. I would say is a guy called Tim in our team. I don't remember on Stat Check they were talking about this guy called Tim who had the lowest rankings and they couldn't understand how he kept playing.
He won 3 games in the first 2 years of 10th, and 2 of them were buys.
Yeah, he's part of our team. We all love him.
Yeah,
his nickname Spoons. That's one we could have come out with.
Yeah.
But you know, he always takes the time, like in a local club, to help out new players. You know, teach them about the game. You know, he goes to loads of majors and he keeps a passion for the game. So that'd be my pick. You know, he's got a love for it. We all envy sometimes, I think.
Yeah, he has so much fun playing Warhammer. It's a joy to see. I think my vote would be for Ratnu Vidya.
Yeah, it's another one, yeah.
He's such a gent to play against. He's only recently sort of joined the super major scene, but he is like the way he approaches the game is sort of the way that I think everybody should play. He's very clear with his intent. He agrees everything with his opponent before he even moves a model. Says, you know, do you agree this? And he's super clean and also just absolutely fine with takebacks and that within reason. But you know, he's just such a gem to play against.
Yeah, no, but I think I've played against a couple of you guys. I've played against you, Aaron. We had a really great time there, and I've also played against Stephen in 9th edition. He was on Death Guard. I was on Harlequins, but yeah, I get like really great player, really strong player, but also just very relaxed. Just had a great time about it as well, and I think you can see that's kind of the vibe your whole team has, which is great. If you were to compare DRG to a Premier League football team, who would it be? What sort of team do you think you are?
I don't follow football, so
you don't follow football. Aaron, do you follow football?
Not particularly, no.
Right, Chris, what's a really funny one to say? I'll come out with something.
We'll edit this in. Okay, right. Well, would you say you're kind of a team that does quite well, right? Like, so you'll kind of be one of the top teams, and you're a nice team as well. So that kind of is interesting.
Was that like Man City and
Man United? I was thinking maybe like I don't know, Chelsea.
I think, yeah. You know.
I don't know football well enough. I'd like to think we're a team that people like to cheer on when they're doing well,
Okay.
and the fans aren't obnoxious.
That kind of ruins out
which
any
rules
football
out
team.
any football team, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd say Leeds, but that's been.
But we all hate Leeds scum. It's quite a well-known
We're
chant.
not Tottenham. We're definitely not Tottenham.
You're not Tottenham.
I know that one.
That's fair enough. Well, maybe in the comments, your fellow teammates can let us know.
I think it does watch football.
Is there any football? Must be.
You remember do
Well,
rugby?
Greg will know. Greg will be able to.
Greg will be able to answer. Yeah. Right. Okay. I've got one more question. So, it's the ITT just around the corner. You get to pick your own fantasy 5-player team for it. You are going to be obviously one of the players. You get to pick 4 other players to be on your team, not just from obviously DRG. You can pick from all around the world. It could be from DRG if you want. Who are you picking to join you on your quest for ITT domination?
From all around the world.
From all around the world.
Okay. Well, Olivier Weiss.
Okay.
Captain Team France.
Uh-huh.
John Lennon.
Yep.
Captain of Team. I think he's the captain of Team US.
Yep.
Myself, obviously.
Of course, you got to take that.
And then it gets a little bit more interesting because I would say Nassim Fouchain.
Uh-huh.
However, I want to play guard, so
Okay.
no.
Can't be
I would probably take Naz and Innes Wilson. That would be the like.
Okay.
We'll do face down pairings every round, and we'll just try and get 20s, and then I'll get a 10. Let them do their thing. Marry me. I'm just going face down. Don't care. Figure it out.
No Liam VSL
there. I forgot he existed. He's too tall, so
He's
I can't
too
actually
tall,
talk to him.
yeah.
I'm
It
5'6".
makes you
He's
look
6'5". It's like actually comedic if we stand next to each other.
That's entirely fair. Okay, so that's a pretty super team. Aaron, who's in your team?
I don't know. I mean, Charles named all the players, right? I think if I was going to pick a team, I'm going to be a bit cheesy and say first ITT I did, the guys from our team, me, Greg, Steve Platten, Paul Martin, and George's corner. I've done butchered that. That was my favourite ITT we've done. You know, we got paired into England round 3, got a spanking, but it was it was a good experience. So yeah, I think that was my team I'd go for.
No, and I think right there you've encapsulated the 2 different ways that people can like treat like teams, and that's what's so great about UKTC at the moment and the ITT stuff is you've got the teams at the top end who are taking the cutthroat players and really thinking about their comp and like beating the living crap out of each other at the top tables. But then you've also got people who are just going as groups of friends and they can take it as seriously as they like, but they can just have an awesome time doing so. And as we all know, teams is so much more fun because you're doing it with your mates. So I think you've nailed that question. You passed. Big tick. Well done. And on that, I guess we will finish there. But thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to know you guys even more. And next time everyone's at ITT, go check out DRG. You can see them from their shirts. You've got quite nice white shirts as well, don't you?
We do.
You've got
mine's in the wash because I forgot which day it was, so my white shirt's in the wash. It's my favourite shirt. It's the one that I wear to as many events as I can.
No, I do like your shirts. You've got a nice kit. You've got a name which we now know the meaning to, and you guys are a wonderful team. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having us, Chris.
We'll see you all again next time. Take care.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers all. Bye.